Welcome to the Daily Line, Major League Baseball time. Huge card again today, Greg. And I was going over some numbers from USA Today. They were pointing out that, they normally don't cater to the betting crowd, but you're seeing that so far this season we're getting 9.2 average runs a game and 1.88 home runs scored per game. That is the lowest number since 1992. It gave a lot of credit to the young pitching staff, some of the new guys coming up. You're seeing Halladay. You're always going to see him having great numbers, but you're seeing some of these young guys like Romero come up with the Blue Jays who are really bringing down the numbers. Do you think the bookmakers taking note of this?
Oh, obviously they have. And, you look at a good team like St. Louis, after you take Pujols out of the lineup, they don't have a lot of offense. Seattle's anemic, Oakland, San Diego's a tough park to get runs in, and that's why you're seeing a lot of these over-unders at 7. You've seen more 6.5s this year, this early in the season, than you have before, Jarvis. And you've even seen a couple over-unders at 6. So, they've made adjustments.
Now, it doesn't get any lower than the New York Yankees and Minnesota Twins yesterday. They obviously had their game suspended due to rain. It was official after 5 innings, but the forecast in Minnesota is good today. You got to ask you, when's the last time there was a rain delay in Minnesota? Probably a long time ago, before that Metrodome was built.
That would be the Metrodome. Let's see, the Vikings started play there in '82.
So they're getting back
I'm guessing '81.
They're getting back to action today at 4 o'clock Eastern time. They're going to fish that one up, and then they're going to start an evening game tonight, Greg. The Twins lay in 120. The total is 8.5 over 15. When this line opened yesterday, it was 8.5 over 25. Took some heat coming down right away. Is it fair to say that people are looking at this team finishing off a half game? It kind of throws the rhythm out. Is that what people are looking at, or is it the pitching?
I don't know. Like the over/under in the second game is 9 now, I believe. Is it not? Or
the second game is 8.5 still. It's over. It's on its way down. Yeah.
Okay. I showed it opening 9 under 125, and I have about 8 runs. So
I saw the 9 out there as a projected opening line, but it didn't actually show up in any of the books. So it was 8.5 over 25. And
I show it going under, Jarvis, but I'm not sure if Brian Honora is going to be the home plate umpire. So usually in a spot like that, I like to watch the completion of the first game, and then make a decision on the second game.
Well, Andy Pettit's coming off a rough start against the Tampa Bay Rays, but Pettit, you look back over the last few years, it's not uncommon for him to have a bad start or two in the early part of the season. I know we're kind of getting out of the early season excuse, but Pettit, I'm expecting him to bounce back strong. He's matching up against Francisco Liriano. Francisco Liriano has had a night-and-day season, 3-0 to start the year, 1-3 ever since. He's got a 6.08 ERA. It's not exactly easy to step in against the Yankees hitting squad, but I like Minnesota at home. I also like the situation they're in, fighting for first place in the Central. So I've got an official selection on this game staying under 8.5 runs. Got it at -105. You can find that available at the books right now, Greg. Let's go to Oakland and Baltimore. Cahill versus Matus on the mound. We've got Baltimore laying 118. I know you like the side in this game.
Yeah, when you see Baltimore, not a great team to say the least, laying $1.18.
You're surprised right away.
It's kind of like being in the bar and filling out the football pool, and there are 2 ugly teams, and you say, I might as well take the dog and the points.
Yeah.
I don't like the dog in this spot. I like Baltimore here. For starters, you've got home plate umpire Mark Carlson. He's been behind home plate 9 times this year.
Right.
The home team is 8-1 when he's behind home plate.
Wow.
He's a career homer. Plus, if you take an American League road team that's not very good in offense, like Oakland is, and they're scoring 3 runs or less in their last 2 games, and you've got a money line that's plus or minus $1.25, which is what you have in this game, you want to play against Oakland if they're scoring on average 4.5 or less runs per game, and matched up with a pitcher who has an ERA between 4.7 and 5.7, which applies to the starter for Baltimore. Plus, Baltimore's starter is better at home than he is on the road. This system is 34-6, Jarvis. That's 85%, going back to 1997 and plus 27.1 units. The last 3 seasons by backing the home team in this spot, guys, 7 wins and 0 losses. I have an official selection on this game on the Baltimore Orioles, minus $1.18.
Baltimore minus 118. You're backed up with the numbers for it there, Greg. I like it. Let's run the bases.
Okay, running the bases brought to you by.
Brought to you by Jarvis and Greg. Start with Boston and Tampa Bay. Boston in unfamiliar territory at that spot down near the bottom of the AL East, but they've been making up ground with some great games against Tampa Bay. Now today, Tampa Bay is hoping that Matt Garza can be a stopgap. He's laying 160. Garza's had a great start to the season. He's facing John Lackey, Greg.
Over-under opened at 8, went up to 8.5. I think Tampa Bay went into Boston and did a sweep, and Boston's trying to replay pay them back here, Jarvis. You've got a team that's averaging 1.25 or more home runs per game. You want to play them over the total in this spot, Jarvis. That applies to Boston. It's 50 overs and 22 unders. Have an opinion on this game over the total. It's done very well the past 5 seasons, plus 26 units. An opinion on this game to go over.
Over the total. Okay, we got St. Louis playing in San Diego. St. Louis laying 115 right now. That line's kind of floating around. Also seeing a low number. Obviously, this game is in San Diego. A lot of unders in this park. But San Diego beat St. Louis 1-0 yesterday off a strong performance by John Garland. That game was 1-0. What do you see coming out of this one?
Actually, there's a system on this on the host team, Jarvis. But you know what? Be careful if you play the under here. It's gone over 4 out of 5 times this season. 72 overs, 32 unders in this exact spot since 1997. I have an opinion on this game. It seems like a stretch, you know, with the pitching and all that. But I have an opinion. It's contrarian, but it's a good system. An opinion on this game over 6.5.
Opinion on the over. Okay, we got Washington, San Fran. You know the line is out of whack. Washington's starting to slip a little bit. Lintz comes on the mound for San Fran, laying 270. I know you're looking at the over-under here.
The over-under opened at 7. I saw it at 7.5 late last night, early this morning. It's back to 7. The thing that's keeping me off this, it's not the home plate umpire. It's the starter for Washington. You know, if he gets in trouble, that San Francisco could take this over by itself. But in this exact spot, there's 0 overs, 4 unders this season. And what you have is you've got to play teams under the total when the over-under is 7 or less, Jarvis. It applies to the Giants. If they've gone 3 straight games with no home runs and they're following a game where their bullpen gave up no earned runs. This system is 20 overs, 53 unders, 73% to the under, plus 32 units since 1996. 0 overs, 4 unders just this season. Top opinion on the under 7.
Okay, and we got Texas and KC underway, and if anyone's looking at betting Detroit, Seattle, they start at 3:40 Eastern time, so you want to get on that one. Greg, let's recap our plays.
Okay, recapping the selections in Major League Baseball, I have the Baltimore Orioles minus $1.18 as
okay,
an
and in
play.
baseball, I've got the play with the New York Yankees and Minnesota Twins to stay under. If you want to hear more about the daily line, come by BetRepublic.com. We've got lots of info for you, lots of systems up, and all the stuff we talked about will be up in the stadium section. We will see you around. For everyone at BetRepublic.com, I'm Jarvis Symes.
And I'm Greg Dempson.
Talk to you next time.